Is that it over there?
That's over there. That's the bells already, yeah? You see?
That's so beautiful.
You see the bells and the cabin
Yeah.
below? It's one of the nicest cabins I know.
Wow.
Because you have a nice view when you play.
I'm back in Europe. While I'm here, I'll be climbing 14 towers, many of them for the first time, and playing everything from 500-year-old bells to brand new instruments. So come check it out.
So I don't know anything about this. What is Park Abbey?
So this was and still is a Norbertine Abbey.
Okay.
The Norbertines were an European order with a lot of abbeys in the Low Countries.
Okay.
There are Grimbergen is still a Norbertine Abbey too.
Yeah.
Postel also, Averbode, Tongerlo. And this was the richest abbey.
This whole complex is the
The whole complex,
Abbey.
indeed. And
Are the bells visible like that because that was the style for the Baroque period?
yes,
Okay.
yes. We don't have any picture of the old carillon anymore.
Okay. And what was the old carillon? Where were the bells from?
The bells were cast by Noorden and de Graaf in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So the successors of the Hemony brothers.
Yeah.
And they sold a series of 3 octaves to the city of Brussels
Okay.
in 1714. Why? Because the Belfry of the city of Brussels had collapsed under the weight of the previous carillon.
Wow.
And the people of Brussels immediately bought a new carillon
Yeah.
for the to be rebuilt Belfry.
Okay.
But Belfry was never rebuilt.
Got it.
And so 15 years later, the abbot of this abbey, when he refurbished this church and built a new tower,
Yeah.
bought those bells in Brussels.
Wow. Okay.
And the bells were taken out by the priests before the French could get them.
Okay. What year?
In the
Approximately.
in the 1796, 97.
Okay.
And when the bells came back, the priests had no money to reinstall the carillon.
Really?
The only thing they needed was money.
Yeah.
So they sold a lot of their treasures.
Yeah.
They sold the stained glass, they sold furniture,
Wow.
and they sold the bells.
Okay.
But happily, they knew that the city of Leuven had a very bad city carillon in St. Peter's Church.
Okay.
And the priests agreed to just switch, to swap,
Oh.
and to take over for free
Yeah.
the bells of the city
Yeah.
and to give in return these bells to the city. So the Abbey carillon became city carillon of Leuven,
Oh,
in
really?
the center of town.
And it's still there.
No, it was
No.
burned down by the Germans in 1914.
Damn.
Yes, indeed. And this abbey started a restoration project
Yeah.
11 years ago. I proposed that also the soundscape of the 18th century would be restored,
Yeah.
and not only the architecture.
Yeah.
And everybody thought, well, that's a great idea, but there was not money,
Yeah.
not any money for that.
Yeah.
Until a German city collaborated in creating this instrument.
Okay.
And that's because the city archivist of that city, the city
Yeah.
of Neuss, very close to Düsseldorf, discovered in his own archive that a battalion of soldiers of his town participated in the destruction of Leuven in 1914.
Oh, wow.
That was also the end of the carillon.
Yeah.
And he wrote a very extensive article about what exactly happened in
Yeah.
Leuven and what was the responsibility of his, the predecessors of the people of Neuss now.
Yeah.
And so that shocked the people there.
Yeah.
And the result was that there was contact between the two cities,
Wow.
and there was a willingness to create a joint project for
Okay.
peace.
Yeah.
And then
It's kind of like the library carillon in Leuven.
yes,
But from the Germans this time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have one from the Americans and one of the Germans.
Yeah.
And the position of the bells is more or less a copy of the old carillons of Potsdam
Yeah.
and Berlin, Parochialkirche.
Yeah.
Because they were also cast by Jan Albert de Graave, the same bell founder as the bell founder of these Drawings of all the 40 initial bells were preserved.
Okay.
When they were hanging in St. Peter's Church in the 19th century as a city carillon,
Yeah.
one bell founder, Constant Sergijs, who was a beginning bell founder,
Yeah.
made detailed designs of every bell and every clapper
Wow.
with the measurements.
Okay.
And we gave those sketches to ijsbouwers. Said,
So it's really
that's your job.
the same profile,
it's the same profile, the same pitch.
shape, same pitch.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The same alloy of bronze, we think,
Okay.
with a lot of lead, 5% lead,
Wow.
which shortens the decay time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Abbey Church, originally Romanesque style,
Yeah.
12th century, the beginning of the Abbey,
Okay.
but completely refurbished in the beginning of the 18th century when the tower and the carillon were also installed.
Okay.
The organ is empty, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
It was burnt down, damaged in the 70s by a fire.
Oh, bummer.
And the agency of Heritage
Yeah.
wants to restore it,
Yeah.
and the priests want to construct a new organ.
Oh.
So all paintings about the life of Saint Norbertus, the founder of this order
Yeah.
of monks.
Amazing.
And this was the seat of the abbot,
Wow.
and in front he looked to the names of all his predecessors, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So I told you that the priests sold the bells in the 19th century.
Yeah.
They also sold these stained glasses,
Okay.
which represent the life of Saint Norbertus. Made in Leuven, 17th century, high artistic value. This collection was spread out over the whole world. And in the last 15 years, 1/3 of them came back.
Okay.
This is the old refectory,
Okay.
and this is almost unique in the world.
Wow.
All representations of different forms of eating in the Bible.
Okay.
So there's the Last Supper, as you can see. It's by a German artist
Yeah.
who spent several years of his life in this abbey to finish all this.
Wow.
One last thing I want to show you is the library.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Same artist, same style.
Same artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12th century staircase.
Yeah. This was the outside wall of the old church.
Wow.
This old tower clock. Not functioning anymore.
Yeah.
It's not very old, it's 1911.
Okay. So these bells, these are
Swinging bells only.
swinging bells, old bells?
One old one, 1630. And this is the actual clockwork. Hop.
There's Leuven.
Yes.
The view is amazing.
Yeah. Let's go out first.
Yeah.
The bells are just above.
Uh-huh.
These are the small bells.
Wow.
With the clappers in forged iron, so not cast iron.
So what year?
It was dedicated the 11th of November 2018.
Okay.
So exactly 1 century after the end of the First World War.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's mean tone tuning, like baroque style, like the original.
It's mean tone, it's a pure mean tone, not a compromise tuning. It's really the severe
severe
1/4 comma of the harmonies.
quarter comma mean tone.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's probably the newest mean tone carillon in the world.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. The only historical carillon in Belgium,
Why?
because all other carillons in Belgium with old bells
Yeah.
have a renewed keyboard,
Yeah.
20th century keyboard, and
Okay.
new connections.
Yeah.
But here we tried with new material, of course,
Yeah.
to replicate the old situation.
Yeah.
with forged clappers, with bronze with more lead in the alloy.
Yeah.
And the keyboard is a copy of the old keyboard in the Tower Museum in Hasselt,
Okay.
which dates from 1752, so very close to 1730, this instrument initially.
Yeah.
And we made just an exact copy of that instrument.
Really cool.
Yeah.
How does the keyboard differ from our current day keyboard?
Well,
oh, I see.
The pedal board goes only to E
Yeah.
and not to G.
Yeah.
So 3 notes are missing.
Got it.
You have to take into account that when you play.
Tricky, yeah. Yeah.
Of course, no B flat, no E flat.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
the distance between the manual keys is not 4.6 centimeters like the European standard, but
Yeah.
4.5 centimeters.
Okay.
1 millimeter.
Just a little.
You will not notice that.
No.
Long keys,
Long keys.
not conical, but straight. Huh?
Yeah.
Not ash wood, but oak wood, like most American instruments too.
Yeah.
The only thing we changed was the size of the disc.
Okay.
It was only that.
Oh yeah.
And so we enlarged it.
That's nice.
And we doubled this. Disconnecting and
Oh wow.
this one is too long, so I will disconnect,
Yeah.
turn around,
Wow.
connect again.
Yeah.
It's fine. Too long. Too short.
Too short.
So I have to do it this way probably. No. You can easily hear that it's mean tone, even if you're not familiar with mean tone in general. When you push A flat and E flat together,
Okay.
it's not a pure fifth,
Show me.
and it will be very ugly.
Okay. Yeah.
When you compare it with, for instance, this.
Yeah.